Welcome to Short Movie Channel. Our movie today begins in Mexico, where we see a woman named Giselle Hammond. She walks into a store, looking nervous and glancing around anxiously, clearly terrified of something. She starts talking to the store owner, and suddenly, without any warning, he asks her, "Truth or dare?" The woman chooses dare. At that moment, the store owner pours gasoline on her. He then apologizes for what he's about to do and lights her on fire. She burns horribly, as we see in the scene. It's important to note that this is just a small part of the events we're about to share with you today, so stay focused to catch all the details. In the next scene, we meet a beautiful and charming girl with short black hair named Olivia. We see her recording a video for her blog on the internet. It becomes clear that she's organizing a charity initiative. The movie reveals that Olivia is deeply passionate about this field, constantly launching social initiatives. In this particular project, she aims to build homes for the homeless who live on the streets. We also learn that Olivia lives with 3 of her friends. Her closest friend, Marky Cameron, walks in and they start chatting. Marky tries to convince Olivia to join them on a trip to Mexico with the rest of their friends, but Olivia declines, saying she's very busy these days. Meanwhile, their other friends, Billy, Mary, and Mary's boyfriend Tyson, join the conversation. They also try to persuade Olivia to travel with them, and eventually, they succeed by promising to help her with her initiative to build homes for the homeless when they return. They pack their things and prepare to leave. Just before they set off, their friend Brad comments, "I can't believe any of you managed to convince Olivia to come on this trip." They then hop in the car and head straight to Mexico. After a few hours, they arrive, full of excitement and ready to enjoy their vacation. They have a great time together, shopping at malls, visiting the beach, and attending musical concerts. On their last night in Mexico, they all decide to go to a bar and casino together. At the bar, Olivia is sitting alone when one of their friends, Ronnie, suddenly shows up. Ronnie starts bothering Olivia with inappropriate behavior, and she becomes very uncomfortable. A guy named Carter, who notices what's happening, steps in and tells Ronnie to stop bothering the girls and to respect their space. Olivia quickly intervenes to defuse the situation, and Ronnie leaves. Afterward, Olivia sits with Carter, and they introduce themselves to each other. They start talking and have a long conversation. Later, Olivia's friends suggest heading to another place after the bar since it's about to close. At this point, Carter proposes taking them to an extraordinary spot that they'll absolutely love. However, they'll have to walk a bit to get there since they can't take the car. Everyone agrees to Carter's idea, and he leads them to an abandoned church. Carter seems to have everything planned. He even offers them beer bottles. Meanwhile, Olivia starts looking around and notices a broken clay pot and some old pictures, which seem to be of the monks and nuns who used to be there. Suddenly, we see that Ronnie has been following them the entire time, secretly trailing them to the church. Olivia and her friends start feeling uncomfortable and decide they should leave, but Carter stops them. He insists that the night isn't over yet and suggests they all play a game called Truth or Dare. He explains that this game will allow them to uncover each other's secrets and personal truths. Alternatively, they can dare someone to do something bold or out of their comfort zone as a punishment. Carter explains the rules. Each person gets to choose between truth or dare. If they pick truth, they have to answer a question honestly. If they pick dare, they must perform a daring task they've never done before, even if it's something they never imagined themselves doing. Everyone agrees to play, and the game begins. The group starts asking each other lots of questions, and everyone answers truthfully. But then Tyson asks a shocking question that leaves everyone stunned. He asks Marquez if she knew that Olivia had feelings for her boyfriend, Marco. Olivia gets visibly upset when she hears this, and Marquez denies knowing anything about it. Marco, on the other hand, looks angry and upset at Tyson for bringing it up. The game continues until Bailey asks Carter what his real intentions are with Olivia. That's when Carter drops a bombshell. He admits that his real purpose was to find someone with a group of friends to bring to this spot and play this game. He says he doesn't care if they all die as long as it ensures his survival. Carter then abruptly walks away, leaving everyone in shock. They're unsure if he's joking or being serious. Olivia decides to confront Carter and follows him to demand an explanation. Carter then reveals a terrifying truth: the game of truth or dare is real, and by agreeing to play, they've automatically become part of it. Carter explains that the game will now follow them wherever they go, and they can't escape it. He warns them that if they lie or refuse to follow the rules of the game, they will all die. To survive, they must play by the game's rules. Olivia is left utterly shocked and refuses to believe what Carter is saying. Later, they all return home from Mexico. At first, Olivia tries to convince herself that Carter's words were just a prank or an elaborate joke. She even suspects that Ronnie might have been messing with her like he always does. Tyson eventually apologizes to Olivia for what he said during the game in Mexico. Olivia accepts his apology and reassures him that it's all fine. But then, when Olivia goes upstairs at home, she finds a piece of paper with the words, "Truth or Dare," written on it among her things. She starts to wonder if her friends are playing a prank on her, or if she's just imagining things. Meanwhile, Marquez is feeling sad, and her relationship with Olivia is strained. She tries to patch things up with Olivia, who tells her there's nothing going on between her and Lucas, that he's like a brother to her. The next day, while leaving school, Olivia notices the words, "Truth or Dare," written on her car door. She assumes Ronnie is behind it and angrily confronts him about the prank. However, Ronnie is completely confused and shocked by her accusations. He insists that nothing is written on the car door at all. Olivia goes to the library, and one of the girls says to Olivia with a scary expression and a creepy voice, "Truth or Dare?" Olivia is completely shocked by what's happening, and the big twist is that all the students in the library surround Olivia and ask her, "Truth or Dare?" Olivia loses it, panicking, and finally screams, "Truth!" They immediately ask her, "What's the secret between you and Marky that no one knows about?" In a loud voice, Olivia blurts out, "Marky cheats on Lucas a lot with other guys." Lucas is shocked by what she just said, and Marky is furious. But then it's revealed that everything happening around Olivia was just an illusion created by the game. Olivia tries to apologize to Marky afterward, but Marky ignores her and walks away. Later that night, Ronnie is at a bar, like usual, trying to hit on a girl. Suddenly, the girl's face transforms into something horrifying, and she asks him, "Truth or Dare?" Thinking it's all just a joke, Ronnie chooses Dare. The girl then dares him to climb onto the pool table and take off his pants. He climbs onto the pool table but refuses to remove his pants. As a result, he slips off the table, hits the edge of another, and dies instantly. It's clear that his death was caused by the game because he didn't complete the dare. After this, Olivia gathers her friends to explain what's happening and why she said what she did in the library. Right then, they all receive a video on their phones showing everything that happened to Ronnie, from the moment he chose dare to when the game ended his life. Around the same time, the game asks Lucas in the street about his true feelings for Olivia. Lucas admits to Olivia that he loves her. Olivia tells him she has figured out that the game is following the order of the photo they all took together in Mexico. When they all meet again, Marky gets a text from an unknown number asking, "Truth or Dare?" Marky chooses Dare, and the game orders her to break Olivia's arm immediately. Marky doesn't want to do it, but Olivia tells her, "If you don't, you'll die like Ronnie." Marky reluctantly breaks Olivia's arm. They rush her to the hospital, and her arm is treated. In the next scene, their friend Tyson, who doesn't believe in the game or any of what they've told him, is at a medical school interview. While he's alone with the interviewer, her face changes. She asks him, "Truth or Dare?" Tyson chooses Truth, and she asks him about the fake prescriptions he's been writing. Tyson lies, denying that he's done anything like that. Before his friends can get to him, the game forces Tyson to kill himself on the spot. When the group gathers to figure out a solution, Lucas suggests that the only way to survive is for everyone to choose truth and answer honestly, no matter what the question is. He says no one should choose dare anymore. They start researching the game online and find a video of a woman named Giselle setting another woman on fire inside a store in Mexico. They manage to track down Giselle's account and see pictures of her with a guy named Carter. They create a fake account and message her to arrange a meeting. Meanwhile, the game forces their friend Penelope to choose dare. They find her standing on the roof, saying the game dared her to walk along the edge of the building while drunk. As she loses her balance and falls, the group manages to save her by setting up a mattress to break her fall. Later, Giselle meets with them and explains that everything started when a guy named Sam broke some sacred objects in an abandoned church in Mexico, including a clay jar. That's when things started spiraling out of control. Giselle says her final dare was to kill Olivia. She points a gun at Olivia and fires, but Penelope jumps in front of Olivia, taking the bullet and saving her. The group tackles Giselle, but she kills herself with the gun, saying the game forced her to because she failed her dare. When they investigate the church in Mexico, they discover that a brutal massacre happened there 50 years ago. Only one girl survived, named Inez. They find her address and go to her house. Inez is now an old woman who has lost her ability to speak since the massacre. She communicates that she and a group of nuns were in the church when the priest started doing horrible things. One day, one of the girls exposed this secret and revealed what the priest was doing with them in the church. This girl performed a spell and magical rituals, summoning a demon from hell into the church. When the priest tried to assault one of the girls, it turned out that the girl was possessed by the demon, and she killed the priest, even burying him in the church. Later, we learn that the demon went out of control, killing many of the girls. Then, the girl wrote a magical spell that could trap the demon. The spell needed to be read 7 times, and it required placing the tongue of the person who broke the clay vessel in the church into a new clay vessel, sealing it, and covering it with wax. As long as that clay vessel remained in the church, the demon would stay trapped inside it. This is when we discover that she sacrificed her own tongue, cut it off, and placed it inside the clay vessel to imprison the demon. When Olivia presents them with the clay vessel, she is told that it looks just like the broken one from the church. The next day, Brad is with his father, a police officer. When the game asks Brad through the radio whether he chooses truth or dare, he picks dare. The game dares him to steal his father's gun, point it at him, and make his father beg for his life. Brad goes through with it, grabs the gun from his father, and shouts at him, demanding he beg for his life. Brad tells him he'll explain everything after, but his father, confused and clueless, refuses to beg. At that moment, another officer suddenly appears behind Brad and shoots him, killing him. When the police question Olivia about the last message sent to Giselle's phone, which was from her, Olivia learns from the detective that Sam, Giselle's friend, is still alive. The detective also shows her Sam's picture, revealing that he's the same person as Carter. When asked if she knows him, Olivia lies and says she doesn't and that it's her first time seeing him. As soon as the detective steps out of the office, Olivia secretly takes a picture of Carter's current address. She gathers her friends, and they head to the address to force Carter to come with them to the church to stop and trap the demon. When Carter begins reciting the spell, the demon possesses Carter and asks Lucas, "Truth or dare?" Lucas chooses dare. The game dares him to kill either Olivia or Marky. Lucas refuses and tries to leave quickly, knowing the game will kill him if he doesn't follow through. Suddenly, the demon takes control of Lucas, causing him to attack Carter to stop the ritual. Lucas stabs Carter and then fatally wounds himself with the dagger. Before dying, Lucas asks Marky, "Truth or dare?" Olivia tells her to choose dare and not follow the demon's orders. Marky chooses dare, and the demon commands her to shoot Olivia. Olivia tells her, "Do it, shoot me in the shoulder." And Marky complies, shooting Olivia in the shoulder. The demon then possesses Marky. Olivia asks the demon, "Truth or dare?" The demon refuses, saying, "I'm not part of your group." Olivia replies, "If you've been asked, that means you're part of the game." The demon, unable to avoid the question, says, "Fine, I choose truth." Olivia asks how they can escape the game. the demon reveals. Carter, Sam, was the one who broke the clay vessel I was trapped in. He was the only one who could stop the game and trap me again. But now that he's dead, the game won't end unless the last player, meaning you, dies. That is, unless you find new players and drag them into the game, just like Carter did with you. At that moment, the demon leaves Marky, and she returns to her normal self. Olivia tells her that the game isn't over and that the only way to survive is to get others involved. Olivia then records a video explaining everything in detail and uploads it to her online channel. She warns her viewers at the moment they are asked the question, "Truth or dare?" they will automatically become part of the game. The video ends with her asking, "Truth or dare?" And that's how today's movie ends. I hope you enjoyed it. If you liked this video, don't forget to support us with a like and subscribe.